going off like
We
crazy.
live?
We're live! Yes!
All right.
Alright, welcome everyone. Welcome you at home, wherever you are, to our Wednesday hangout. We're going to be talking about how to make your dreams come true. Now, I know that sounds like a Disney fairy tale or something, but it really is possible. And Paul is joining me today. Tom will be with us shortly. He got caught up. So, Paul, do you want to go ahead and get started on your thoughts are, or what you feel how dreams can come true?
Yeah, sure. I mean, dreams in themselves are great, but I feel like you have to have some kind of a definite purpose, definite kind of plan, a goal to
Hmm.
attain, to achieve those dreams, to make those dreams a reality.
Right.
And you can't just like sit there, oh, I want, I don't know, what do you want? $1 million,
Sure, bring it.
whatever your dream is, and not have some kind of plan. Or so it's important to have goals, and it's important to set up those goals so they're achievable.
Right.
And a few things you need to do when you have a goal. The first thing you need to do is have a define your goal. So whatever that goal is, you need to have a definition of what it is you want to achieve, what it is you desire. So
Hmm.
you basically want to have a burning desire. You want to have it like it's almost like an obsession. Like you want this, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, you want it.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is you have to believe it. You have to believe in what you want. So you have to desire it, and you have to believe that it's going to come true, that you're going to make it happen, that it is
Right.
going to happen. So that's really big. Going and writing it down. Writing it down is very important. So you define your goal, you believe in whatever that goal is. You got to have a good feeling about it. If you don't have a good feeling about it, then it's probably not the right goal for you.
Right.
And you got to write it down. The next thing is you need to split it up.
What do
So
you mean by that?
what I mean by that is you could have different goals. Like you could have a short-term goal, and then you have a goal that you want to achieve 5 years from now. So you can have a goal that you want to work on for maybe 3 months. Your overall goal is 5 years. So you split it
Yeah.
up. You want to review it from time to time to stay on track, stay on
Yeah.
focus, and so you want to schedule when you want it to happen, and most of all, you want to take action
Yeah.
because it's not going to happen if you don't do anything. If you're just sitting there
Right.
thinking about it, not going to happen.
Right.
So
So many people will just start, writing a list like their New Year's resolutions, and they'll go through like the first month or something, and just kind of sit through it and not really do anything about it. Or they'll write it out, but they're like, I don't know what to do with this. So I mean, you give some really good points. I like that. One thing that I was reading, I think you've you know who Jack Canfield is, right, Paul?
yes,
From the Success Principles.
yes,
He talks about not wanting or not living someone else's dream, and that every one of us inside knows what we want. We've known since birth. It was through early childhood and the programming that we. Hi, Tom. Glad you can join us.
Tom's in the
Um,
house.
Tom's in the house.
All
We're
right.
just kind of going over dreams and ways to kind of go through the motions to take it into the actions of making it a goal. But I was just talking about how Jack Canfield talks in his book, The Success Principles. He talks about how people will often just kind of give up and they don't want to live someone else's dream, or they'll live someone else's dream instead of taking their own, because of the programming that they've come through, knowing through early childhood, and people telling them, don't touch that, stay away from that, or you know, you got to eat everything in your plate, always telling them what to do, right? And I think that's how, as we get older, that's all we heard. And it just kind of creates this, you know, you can't have everything you want mentality, and really puts us down. And what's that noise? Nobody knows what that is? Okay, maybe I'm just hearing stuff. You guys don't hear it? It sounds like drumming. Am I the only one that hears this?
I don't know. I know you're the only one who has headphones on.
Oh man, that's freaky. Okay, well, yeah, so I think it's just really interesting how a lot of people will, we don't actually get into that, or start thinking, okay, what is it that we really do want? What is it that I want to achieve? You know, besides just wanting, yeah, I want $1 million, or I want that $1 million home on the beach, you know, besides doing that and just wanting, I think it's important, like Paul said, to take action and actually do something about it, and not settling for someone else's dream, and not you know, always making sure that what you know, what you want is up front and not someone else's. So that's what I was reading, anyways. I don't know that's what I found.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I don't know. Anything you want to share, Tom?
Why don't you ask me some questions?
What kind of steps, or let me think. If you had to create some steps for someone to help them get through, to create like an action plan, I guess, what would you say are the most important things?
An action plan in regard to their dreams and their goals?
Yeah, like trying to help someone manage or focus in on what they really want to achieve.
I would say probably a vision board really would be a good start. Mm-hmm. Making a list. I mean, I know when I did a list a long time ago, like 20-something years ago, and the guy I was working with said, okay, you know, I had these columns. I took a piece of paper, so instead of it being like this, I went like that, mm-hmm. and I drew a line across it, and I had all these different lines, and each column had something in my life, like I was going to college at the time, so school, career, fitness, travel, hobbies, family, relationship. Maybe that was it, like.
Yeah.
And I had 3-month, 6-month, 1 year, and 5 year.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes in the beginning, it's hard for people to think that far out to 5 years. So maybe do like 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. And I just started writing things down in each column. Like in 3 months, I want to do this workout program. You know, in 3 months, and for some things, especially travel, I knew I could do it. And some things was a little bit far-fetched. Like I knew I could drive 100 miles to go to the, you know, Cape Cod. I knew I could drive to, you know, go to this place I like to go to in Vermont, the Trapp Family Lodge from The Sound of Music. Mm-hmm. But maybe it might be a little bit more, you know, harder to go to Florida or to Sedona or something. So I just started writing in these columns all these different things I wanted to do. And that at least was at least written down. And then nowadays it's a little bit more extended, where you know, we have vision boards that we talk about. Mm-hmm. So you can at least write it down if you can't really put the vision board together right away, and start dreaming. And probably a good way would be to look at magazines. Anytime you see something that you like, just write it down. Nothing is impossible. Everything,
like a bucket list, right?
is. Excuse me?
Kind of like a bucket list, right?
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point right there. Yeah. So like a bucket list, but have certain categories. What do you want to do in your relationship? What do you want to do with your work? What do you want to do for your hobbies? Do you want to go to the museum? Do you want to bike ride? Do you want to you know, do leather working? Do you want to do volunteer work? Do you want to collect glass? Or what do you call it? No, do you want to collect sea glass?
Mm-hmm.
So then there's a number of different things that people could do, but that's the basics, in my opinion, to get started.
Yeah.
It's just, what do you know, to dream big, as we talk about, like, what do you want out of life?
Right.
And then put, you know, with the 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year, at least you're giving it like a timeline. And then you'd have to take it a step further. And how can I get to the ocean? I mean, I live right near the ocean, a couple miles away. But, you know, how could I get to, say, go to Cape Cod? Well, it's going to cost this much amount of money. You're going to probably drive, you know, so on and so forth. Or if I want to, you know, get to 10% body fat, how am I going to do that? I'm going to have to clean up my eating. I'm going to have to get on a good workout program. How am I going to, you know, if somebody was looking for a girlfriend or a boyfriend, what type of person do they want to be with?
Yeah, yeah.
Or if they're with somebody, how can they improve the relationship that they're already in?
Right.
So it's really going to involve, you know, dreaming and writing things down. And the second step would be, in my opinion, would be to do the vision board next.
Yeah. Now, as far as like just having a goal and a good idea, like how do you feel, or how do you? I don't know. We see you, Paul, but we can't see you exactly, Paul, but we hear you. I know he's having some trouble with technical issues, but it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was just saying the difference between a good idea and a goal. Like what do you guys feel about the differences? I mean, for me, like, I don't know, having just a good idea is kind of just like, oh yeah, you know, just like put it back on the back burner and everything, and nothing really gets done with it. And actually having a goal and a plan is a little more focused, I think, right? Or what do you think? Oh, Paul's back.
Yeah. I mean, a goal is a goal. To me, a goal is a thought. A goal is something that somebody wants to attain or acquire, and a plan's going to be the action steps that's going to help them get to that goal. So the plan's like the blueprint. Like, if you're going to build a house, you have to have a blueprint.
Right.
You know what I mean? If somebody was sewing and they're making a shirt, they're going to go buy the pattern, they're going to get the material, they're going to cut the pattern up into all these little pieces, and they're going to sew it together. So that's what they need to do with their goal. Is to figure out the pieces to the goal.
Right.
And I know that would be a really good talk for a discussion for one of our next talks, and I would be able to come to the call with a way that people can actually develop action steps if you'd like to do that.
Oh yeah, I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah, because it's a little bit involved. It's almost like a call in itself that we could go through, and they could take this and you know, in any area of their life, be able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What do you call it? An action?
Yeah, an action. Yeah, it's an action step. Yeah, an action plan. We would be able to show people how to develop an action plan.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Wrote that down. Awesome. Anything else that you guys want to add, or Paul, did you have anything to add to that?
Can you see me right now?
Yes, we see you.
I'm blind right now. I can't really see anything.
We see you.
Like, when it comes to goals, I think that one of the things that is really, really important in achieving goals is having self-discipline, practicing self-discipline. And what I mean by that is just by following the actions you need to take to reach the goal you have set forth. So, for example, if you want to lose 40 pounds, let's say you want to lose 40 pounds. Well, one of the things you have to do is you need to exercise most days of the week. That would have to be something, that would be a task that would take you towards that goal.
Yeah.
Now, another thing you'd have to do is you would have to eat a sensible diet. You'd have to have a pretty clean diet if you wanted to lose that weight. You'd probably have to maybe lessen the calorie intake that you're consuming.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to do these tasks daily, you're going to get to that goal. It's just
Right.
going to happen. Whereas if you don't do them, if you don't practice self-discipline, then I don't know. I can't tell you if you're going to make that goal, you know.
Right.
There were a few other things I wanted to talk about, and one is writing it down. And there's actually a study done by Dave Cole, who's a professor at Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
And in this study, he said that people who regularly write down their goals, they earn 9 times more than the person that never does
Wow.
in their lifetimes.
Aw, we lost him. What? It was just getting good. Well, hopefully he comes back soon. Gosh, I wanted to hear what the thing was talking about. Well, oh, there he is. Paul's back. I don't know what he did. Did we happen? So in the meantime, while we wait for Paul, I'll just sit here and wait with you. And oh, I can share a quote with you guys. Definitely share a quote with you guys. I found one by Lou Holtz, who is the only coach in NCAA history to ever lead 6 different college teams to postseason bowl games, and a man who has also won a national championship and Coach of the Year honors. I don't know what any of that is, but I will just assume that you do. He said, if you are bored with life, if you don't get up every morning with a burning desire to do things, you don't have enough goals. I don't know, but to me that's like pretty deep. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't know what happened to Paul still. He's not coming. Tom, any words? Any last words? Just
Yeah,
kidding.
I think it's really important that, I mean, you have to have passion for what you're doing. If you don't like it, then you're not going to be able to do it. I mean, a friend of mine told me the other day, it's like, is everything okay with you? You just seem like, you're getting up and you're going to work every day, but you don't seem that excited about it. And I'm going through some like regrouping, readjusting. I'm doing, a cleanse right now, and I'm doing Reiki work. So all these emotions and stuff like that are being stirred up. And, it's the same thing what you're talking about. If you don't have a passion for it. And then I was just talking to my mentor a few minutes ago, and she was saying, well, when I met you in 2008, 5 years ago, you were doing this, and that, and like, what happened? Like, why did you stop doing that? And I talked to her about it. She's like, well, that's a definite something that you should be doing, because she said I was the Michael Gerber of my industry. And I was like, well, and she says, but I really think that you should be doing that, but it's really up to you if you think that you should be doing it or not.
Yeah.
And she told me I need to do some soul searching to figure out, is that what I really want to do? She said, was there a reason that I wasn't doing it?
Yeah.
And, and if I did want to do it, then how am I going to do it? So my point is that you got to do stuff that's going to resonate with you. Somebody could do something for $100,000 a year and they're going to be miserable, or somebody could do something for $25,000 a year and be happy for the rest of their life. And I'm not saying that in my case, but I didn't want to say $1 million. But you can make $1 million a year and be miserable. You can make $100,000 a year and be happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we really got to figure out like what we like doing, what our passion is, what's going to make us get up. And they always talk about that. They always say if to pick something that you like so that you stay with it in the hard times or the challenging times.
Yeah.
So, and I like what I'm doing. I'm not, it's just, finding out ways to tweak it to make it so that I feel that it's where I want it to be at. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That makes sense.
You definitely have to have passion, in what you're doing, which means inside of your soul, burning desire for it to really work out over the long haul.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
Mhm.
Paul's having little issues, but that's okay. We're just going to keep... Oh, there you are. Yay. You want to finish up what you were saying? You cut off on 9 times more. I was just getting into what you were saying. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, basically what I was saying is this professor in tech named Dave Cole, he says that people who write down their goals earn 9 times as much over lifetimes as people who don't.
Okay.
So I think that's a real, 9 times more. That's right there to me, write down your goals.
Right. It's pretty crazy.
Did you hear about what I said about accountability?
No.
There's another doctor at the Dominican University of California, Gail Matthews, and this professor said that if you have accountability, so like the people that wrote down their goals and then they told people about them had a 33% more chance of achieving those goals.
Wow.
That's so amazing. There's a link between writing it down and accountability.
Definitely.
And what I was thinking is, if there's like a fitness plan or something where you had some place where you could write down what your goal was, and then you have the accountability where you're telling other people about what you're doing, that would be a great program to reach your goal. Let's say it's a fitness goal, and be
And we're kind of emphasizing fitness because we're all in that area, but it could be applied to anything really.
Definitely.
Yeah.
In the study, it was applied to business people.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
And how they can, how it will affect their business,
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. Well, anything else that you guys want to add before we close off and finish up here?
The last point I had was comes from Maxwell Maltz, the author of Psycho-Cybernetics.
That's a good book.
And he basically says that human beings are goal-striving machines. Like it's built in our psyche. It's built into us that we need to be striving to reach goals. Because if we don't, then we don't have a purpose. We don't, we lose hope. And so you always have to be striving for something.
It's awesome.
And just practice self-discipline. That's to me, that's the key right there. Self-discipline.
Yeah.
You do the things you need to do to reach that goal. You do those tasks daily. I'll use another example. Going to school. You want to get your degree. Well, what do you have to do? Well, you have to study. You have to read the text. You have to go to class. If you do these things, you'll achieve your goal. It's not science. It's actually very simple. I think we complicate it.
Yeah, I think a lot of us do overthink it. I know I overthink a lot of things, so I can definitely relate to that. Yeah, go ahead.
I know for me, like, when I'm going to reach it, when I'm striving to reach a goal, when I have a goal, and I know what that goal is, it's the defined goal. I have a burning desire for that goal, and I've made a list of things I need to do.
Yeah.
Practice that self-discipline. I know what I need to do. That's it. Just I have to do it. If I don't do it, I'm letting myself down. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
And I feel like too many people don't feel that way. They're just like, oh, I missed it today. Oh well,
Yeah.
And by doing that, you're sabotaging yourself.
Right.
Maybe one day won't be a big deal, but what if that one day leads to 2 days? What if that 2 days leads to 3 days, and then 4 days, and 5 days, and a month? It happens.
I'm guilty of that one.
Very disciplined. And that's where the accountability comes in, because then you have people lifting you up, helping you, supporting you, to reach that goal. So.
Exactly.
And with that, that's what I got.
Yeah. I've definitely can relate to dropping the ball because I missed one day or not having someone accountable. Having a person that you can be accountable to whatever you're striving for is definitely, I think, for at least for me, like the number one way for me to get things done, because it just makes me always think, okay, I have to talk to this person, or I have to email someone and let them know what it is I'm doing, and if I don't, I'm obviously in big trouble. So yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Tom, anything you'd like to add?
No, just that people start dreaming and thinking big.
I don't know if I got cut off.
No, you're there. You're good.
Go ahead, Paul.
Oh, no, I was just wrapping it up. I don't know if I got cut off, but I did mention a website that I have found very useful, habitforge.com, if anybody wants to check that out.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
They send you like 2 emails a day reminding you of whatever goal you set, whatever habit you set. So it's just a great way to stay on track.
Yeah. Maybe I can put I'll put that somewhere so people can find it. Go ahead, Tom.
No, I just say people just dream big, and you can do anything that you want to as long as you set your mind to it. You know what you want, and you never give up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So really, and obviously, really just work on yourself. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, read something positive. Mm-hmm. Try to be as positive as possible. Get rid of all the negativity in your life as much as you can, the toxicity, and things will happen for you. But you have to at least have some dreams.
Yeah.
And I have a saying I made up a long time ago. It's called thoughts turned into dreams, and dreams turn into reality.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Thoughts turn into dreams, and dreams turn into reality. Awesome. Good. Well, we'll close at that because that's a nice thought to end with, and I want to just leave it at that. I was going to add another quote, but I'm good. I think we're good with that. Make sure to come back on Friday. We're going to be talking about the effects of fitness. Ooh.
Okay.
Good one. So I'll see you guys, Paul and Tom. I'll talk to you guys later. For you, if you're watching this live, thank you for watching. If you're watching a replay, thank you for watching. We still love you, and we'll see you on Friday.